As I record this video, this is still a very young and small YouTube channel. This will be my 10th upload, and it has under 2,000 subscribers. And yet, I've made about $1,700 of revenue so far off of this channel, over 1,400 of which came from the very first video that I uploaded to this channel. That being this video here where I learned to ride the one-wheel pint. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what made that happen, what made that video work. So here are the revenue analytics for that video. Now you can see right here the point where the revenue shoots up from zero. And that's because prior to that point, I did not qualify to monetize a video on YouTube. You see, in order to make ad revenue off of your YouTube videos, you must first be a part of the YouTube Partner Program. And in order to join that program, you have to meet two requirements. Requirement number 1, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers. And requirement number 2, you have to have at least 4,000 watch hours over the past 12 months. Once you meet those two requirements, you can join the program, make an AdSense account, and start monetizing your videos. Now, by absolute pure serendipity, the point at which I was first qualifying for YouTube monetization for the first time, right around the end of October 2021, happened to perfectly coincide with the point when that video was getting a huge boost in views because Future Motion, the company that makes the one wheel, had just announced 2 new models of the one wheel. And so that was driving a lot more search traffic around the term one wheel. Couldn't have planned that, pure luck. And if we switch over to the chart of the views here, you can see that big spike. So right here around October 27th, that's when Future Motion announced 2 new models of the one wheel. My video happened to be about the one wheel. And that also happened to be right when I was qualifying for monetization. Now that spike didn't last very long, it leveled out again pretty quick, but it did certainly help. But that, as lucky as that is not the main reason why this video did so well from a revenue standpoint. No, the reason this video made the money that it did is because of its CPM. So CPM is the amount of money that advertisers pay on average per 1,000 views on your video. The average CPM on YouTube for videos that are English speaking and get most of their views out of North America is somewhere between $2 and $8. And the CPM right now on this video is $43.94. That is high. Like ridiculously high, like pushing the upper limits of what can be achieved high. Now the reason this video has such a crazy high CPM basically comes down to 4 things. Number 1 is the video's topic. It's about the one wheel, which is a high ticket item. The version of the one wheel that my video was about costs about $1,000, and the newer, more expensive one wheel that they just released goes for more like $2,200. And other PEVs or personal electric vehicles have similar price points. So they're high ticket items, and the people watching those videos are likely interested in potentially purchasing one of those high ticket items. Which brings me into factor number 2, the age of the audience watching the video. So looking at the audience analytics on this video, you can see that it's mostly people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, aka people with their own spending money. This ties into factor number 3, which is the geography of the audience. The audience of this video is mainly based in the United States, which is one of the biggest markets for advertisers who are on YouTube, and advertisers are willing to pay more for audiences that are based out of the US. So yeah, just zooming out here to the overall picture of the audience who watches this video. It's mostly dudes in their 20s, 30s, and 40s who don't subscribe to my YouTube channel and live in the United States. And that is an audience that advertisers are willing to pay more to be in front of. Finally, factor number 4 is just the overall advertiser friendliness of the video. It's just generally nothing precarious, there's no cursing in it or anything like that. Cursing in YouTube videos, I mean, for a lot of brands, it's just like it's part of the brand. But if you're starting up from scratch, try to avoid it if you can. Because advertisers, when they're choosing the types of content that they're going to run their ads on, they have the option to opt out of certain things, including stuff like swearing in videos. And so by doing that, you disqualify yourself for a lot of ads. Which is why on this channel, you'll never catch me saying anything like shit or bitch or bitch tits or fart or dick or shit on my father's balls. Alright, one other metric on this revenue page that I want to explain is this number, the RPM. That stands for revenue per mile, which I find a very confusing acronym, but that is my revenue per 1,000 views on this video, so that's the amount of money that actually makes it to me. So the CPM is what the advertisers are paying per 1,000 views, and the RPM is what's actually making it to me. So the YouTube Partner Program has a 55-45 split on ad revenue, meaning you keep 55% and YouTube takes the other 45%. Now, if you do that math, you might catch that $14.35 is in fact not 55% of $43.94. That's mainly because of the way YouTube is calculating this. The RPM also includes views that weren't monetized, and so the numbers don't quite balance out perfectly. So while in the grand scheme of things, I understand that $1,600 isn't that much money, especially after considering that 1, it took several months to get that, and 2, that's before any taxes have been taken out. The point that I am hoping to make here is that you don't necessarily need millions and millions of subscribers and views to make a decent amount of money on YouTube. Now you might, but it just really heavily depends on the type of content that you're producing. Views and subscriber numbers, those are largely just ego metrics. Now don't get me wrong, Daddy want that clout. Daddy need that clout. Back up, watch out, I'm all about that clout. But at the end of the day, a high clout producing video is not necessarily a high money producing video. You can easily make a video that gets 1 million or more views and make like $500 on it. And in fact, a lot of the times that is the case because the more views on a video, the more broad appeal that video must be, which means it's harder for advertisers to really niche down and get in front of exactly who they're trying to get in front of. A Mr. Beast video, for example, yes, it's going to get millions of views, but the audience is going to be all over the place, and a large chunk of that audience is going to be kids with no money. Not to mention the amount of money that those videos cost to make. Now, when you're doing that kind of volume, when you're doing Mr. Beast volume, that model can work. But the point still stands that when you have more general appeal type of content, you're more dependent on volume to get revenue. Whereas this video right here has about 100,000 views, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's respectable, but there's certainly videos with a lot more than that. Plus, most of those views weren't monetized because the channel didn't qualify yet, and yet the video has made over $1,400, which, you know, it's pretty good. So if you're starting a YouTube channel or you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, just keep all this stuff in mind. The type of content that you produce, as well as the types of people that watch that content, are going to have a huge effect on the amount of volume that you need to do in order to make this a viable career or side hustle or whatever it is that your goal is for it. And if making money isn't part of your goal at all and you're just looking to have fun, awesome, don't worry about it. Now keep in mind, this is just AdSense that we're talking about, so advertisers running ads on your YouTube videos, which is not the only method of monetization available to a YouTuber. There's also, sponsorships and affiliate links and merch and selling courses depending on the type of channel you are. So if you make videos that get lower CPMs, it's not like you're just automatically doomed. There's other stuff you can do. But if you're curious, other topics that tend to have high CPMs are personal finance, tech reviews, certain lifestyle brands, basically anything where the audience is going to be a little bit older and a little bit more likely to have some spending money. But, and this is very important, do not force yourself into a niche that you do not actually care about just because you think it's going to have a high CPM. People will smell that a mile away. Plus, it just won't be sustainable because you won't enjoy doing it. You have to enjoy doing it. Anyways, that's all I got for today. I hope you found this insightful. Be sure to hit like if you liked the video and found it valuable. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done that already, and hit that bell icon so that YouTube notifies you anytime I upload a new video. Appreciate it. Peace.